Denver is a proud sports town with Super Bowls, Stanley Cups, and World Series appearances. But the Mile High City's forays deep into the NBA playoffs have been few and far between. In 1985, Doug Moe's bunch made it to the NBA Western Conference Finals. But the Nuggets haven't made it back since. Nearly a quarter century has passed. That can all change tonight, 24 years later. Eliminate the Dallas Mavericks, and the Nuggets are among the NBA's Final Four. It's Game 5 from the Pepsi Center. Denver leads the series 3-1. Dallas is facing elimination once again. Hi, everyone. Matt Devlin alongside the coach, P.J. Carlissimo. All right, Coach, what do the Denver Nuggets need to do to close it out tonight?
Well, more what they did in Game 1 and Game 2, Matt. They wore down the Dallas Mavericks by the time it got to the fourth quarter. People talk about their offense, but they're so much better defensively in this building. They turn you over, block shots, steals. Keep on doing what they've been doing.
All right, let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups. There has been a change.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle's got Jason Terry in the starting lineup, as he did in the second half of Game 4. Josh Howard, we've got bracketed also, because those two guys have got to give Dirk Nowitzki a lot more help. I like the move. He's got to get Jason Terry going. Jason's almost 5 points a game below his regular season average.
All right, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Marty Snyder. Marty?
Good evening, gentlemen. It has already been a long and emotional day for Dallas coach Rick Carlisle. Just hours ago, he was in Jupiter, Florida, attending the funeral of his longtime friend and mentor, Coach Chuck Daly. He said there were over 20 former and current NBA coaches at the funeral, and at the funeral, Coach Carlisle was a pallbearer. Hopped on a plane, got back here about 5:30 Mountain Time, got to the arena at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. About an hour before the tip, he was in very good spirits, saying the ceremony was, quote, transcendent, and that, quote, a finer ceremony couldn't have been given to a finer man. But as he told us, and I think he summed it up best, missing that funeral was simply not an option for me. Matt?
I appreciate it, Marty. Of course, a former assistant to Chuck Daly in New Jersey with the New Jersey Nets, and Rick Carlisle and his Dallas Mavericks getting set tonight for Game 5 against the Denver Nuggets. Dirk Nowitzki in Game 4, spectacular in the fourth quarter, had 19 of his 44, PJ.
But he had more help. Josh Howard was really impressive. Obviously playing on gimpy ankles, but he gave them what they needed. People forget, you look at the two scores of Game 1 and Game 2, you think they were blowouts. Both times, Dallas was in good shape early in the fourth quarter. So it hasn't just been the start. It hasn't been a 48-minute blowout, but they got to hang on tonight.
Josh Howard had 21 points and 11 rebounds. And when he scores 20 or more during the regular season or the postseason, they are 19-4 on the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, Dirk had help. And forget about 3 players had double-doubles. Obviously, Dirk, but Josh Howard, as you just mentioned, and Jason Kidd also with the points, rebounds, double-double. Dallas is going to need everybody this evening.
Denver Nuggets have won 15 in a row here, 5-0 during the playoffs. The last team to beat them here, March 9th, it was the Houston Rockets. They won by just 2.
That's a long time ago. And again, Denver is totally different team in this building, but the problem, so is Dallas. Dallas didn't play nearly as well here as they did in American Airlines.
Our 3 officials as Dallas wins the opening tip. Joe Crawford in his 32nd season, Ron Garrettson in his 22nd, and Bill Kennedy in his 11th season officiating in the NBA. Terry doubled, Nowitzki, skip pass. Here's Howard, cranks up a 3, and it's good. A good early sign for Dallas.
Dirk with the cross-court pass. If they're going to double Dirk, and I don't think they're going to double him early, despite the points he got the other night, I think George Karl will keep that in his pocket probably till later in the game. Dirk can find the open man.
Chauncey Billups gives it up. Dante Jones in the lane. Dante Jones. Jones had 10 points in Game 4 in Dallas. Here's Terry. Howard, wide open 3, and it pops out. Carmelo Anthony with a brilliant Game 4, a playoff career best 41 points, the most points scored in a postseason game by a Nugget since Alex English did it back in 1986. He scored better than 41, at 42 in fact.
Josh Howard versus Dante Jones so far.
Nowitzki. Here's Howard, triggers it over Carmelo, and he comes in and commits a foul on Chauncey Billups.
you're going to leave players alone, they're going to have to be aggressive. Dante Jones with a good move there. His offense, he's shown his offense. When they leave him to go double or go help out on other people, he has not been reluctant. They need that.
Game 5, Denver leads 3-1. Carmelo down low on the block, finds Nene and a turnover. Now Dallas in Game 4, they overcame turnovers. And Denver here with an early turnover. It is their first.
Well, Denver's about the best in the league at forcing turnovers, but particularly in this building, you can't turn it over. Nene, a totally different player, was basically ineffective in Dallas, was excellent in games 1 and 2.
Games 3 and 4 had a combined 14 points. Howard trying to get him cranked up early.
He's cranked up.
Howard with all 5 points for Dallas. There's Kenyon Martin dealing with so many things off the floor as Kmart delivers a jumper. Nowitzki swings it. Howard gets by Jones. Nene comes over late, and Howard on 2 bad ankles and all has a great start. 3 of 5 from the field, has 7 points.
More importantly than the ankles, his right arm has got to be in good shape.
It is. Known to be so productive in the first quarter. Knocked away, deflected by Dampier. Anthony on the move. Martin once again jumper. Too strong this time, and Howard comes down with a rebound. And Howard slowly up the floor. Jason Terry. And the crowd kind of sitting back waiting for something to happen by the Nuggets. Kidd finds Terry. Big bucket. It's a 3.
Rick Carlisle obviously happier when they push the ball. He's telling us he doesn't want to call plays. He wants them to push the ball. He felt that was part of the key to their success in Dallas.
First 2 games, Denver averages 113 points here in this building. And a foul. And let's send it over to Marty Snyder. Marty?
Matt, you mentioned the terrific start for Josh Howard. Talked to him before the game. You can see him grimacing once again. Both ankles in a lot of pain. Told me the left one is worse than the right one. He said he took the day off completely yesterday. Iced them as much as he could. Tried to wrap them as tight as he could, but still in a lot of pain. They do have the surgery scheduled for as soon as this is over with. Maybe even as early as Saturday, Matt.
Chauncey Billups with the 3-point game. Foul was on Nowitzki, his first. Dirk backing down, and Martin commits the foul on the reach-in.
We saw this matchup a lot late in Game 4. Referee's trying to let him play. I like it. Not a lot of quick calls so far.
And Game 4, 7 technicals called, 2 flagrants called. Flagrant 1, shot clock down to 4. And trapped. Denver comes away with it. Nene can't finish. Kidd handles. Jones picks him up. Howard gets fouled in the act, attempting a 3-pointer.
Well, there's no question what tempo Dallas wants, at least early in this game. They want to go up and down the floor. They want to attack Denver.
Dallas during the regular season averaged nearly 102 points a game. As Josh Howard, he's certainly been an X factor for the Dallas Mavericks. You go back to San Antonio in the first round, what he was able to do in that series, and then in Game 4 coming up huge.
Josh Howard is a tough matchup for most every team in the league, and I really call him the X factor. I always assume Dirk and Jason Terry are going to give you numbers. That hasn't been the case with Jason Terry so far in the playoffs, but Josh Howard's the one that you can't deal with. And you got a third scorer as explosive and talented as him, and the fact that he can create his own offense, really a problem.
In the first round against San Antonio, averaged nearly 19 points a game. In this series, he's averaging 12.5. Didn't score in Game 2, played just 6 minutes.
He's got to make his free throws. Dallas, an excellent free throw shooting team.
Billups, the 3. Mr. Big Shot early to tie it.
Well, it looks like the team's a little bit tight. Closing out is never easy, regardless of whether you're home or away. Chauncey Billups the one looking to settle him down.
Well, he's been there. He's done that. He's been to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Here's Billups. The Denver native gets bumped by Jason Terry, and a foul on Terry, and that is his first. Chauncey Billups went to George Washington High School, turned down a lot of big-time programs to attend University of Colorado in Boulder, about 45 minutes away.
He was devastated when Detroit moved him on. Fortunately for him, back here, more fortunately for the Denver Nuggets.
No question about that. Trade happened early in the season, early November. Carmelo, Denver on an 8-0 run over the last minute 20. Nuggets by 2. 5 minutes into Game 5. Howard has Billups posting up, spins in line. Tough shot. 9 points now for Josh Howard.
He was effective with post-ups in Game 4. When he's got a smaller guy on him, he feels very comfortable taking him. He did that in Game 4. He's off to a great start this evening, other than at the free throw line.
Nowitzki has yet to attempt a shot. Billups, his presence is felt. And Chauncey Billups will allow others to get involved, but if he feels as though his team needs him immediately, he can provide that impact, BJ.
Well, they fell behind early, and that's obviously the way he felt.
Howard. Shot too strong. Billups handles it. Chauncey once again. Carmelo puts it on the deck, pulls up. Nowitzki has yet to attempt a shot. Backing down on Martin. Spins and finishes.
Defense wasn't very effective, nor was the Denver crowd booing Dirk Nowitzki. They should hold their breath.
He's averaging, 35 in the series.
He and Carmelo are playing so well, and throw Chauncey Billups into the mix. The three of them have been incredibly consistent and spectacular.
Nene open look. And the first 2 games here averaged 24.5 points. And this series, Dirk Nowitzki averaging 35, his best series. Point productivity standpoint. And postseason career. And Carmelo with 30-point performance. Nene on the run out on the feed from Jones. Biggest lead. It's 4 and a timeout.
Nene made the defensive play. He deserved to get the breakaway. Josh Howard's been the offensive weapon so far for Dallas. Goes underneath against the smaller Chauncey Billups. But Chauncey Billups, after the Nuggets fell behind early, he's the man who got the Nuggets going. 14-4 run.
It was all on display on a Monday night with Dirk's 44 points. Carmelo Anthony had 41 points in tonight. Just one shot thus far for Nowitzki. Carmelo Anthony 1 of 2. 14-4 run. Jones gets a stop, the steal, and the finish.
Good rotation by Dante Jones. Bad decision by Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd has turned the ball over a lot in the Pepsi Center, and he's taken really good care of it in Dallas.
Just 2 turnovers. The last 2 games of this series had 8. In game 1, 4 in the fourth quarter. 16-4 run. It started with Josh Howard missing those free throws, PJ.
Very poor possession right there offensively.
And this is what Denver wants to do.
Dallas is back on their heels right now. They need to settle down. That usually means go to Dirk.
Isolated.
Easy call. I don't know what Kenyon's looking at.
His second.
Here we go. Jason Kidd got caught up in the air. That's a mistake he usually doesn't make. Dante Jones with a good rotation. Easy finish.
Chris Anderson, the Birdman, didn't play in Game 4.
And didn't play very much or very well in Game 3.
11 minutes, fouled out. At the 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter, a little bit more difficult task for Dirk Nowitzki when Anderson's around. And a stomach virus, food poisoning, he said. Game 4 and a foul there on Anderson, his first.
I'm not sure I buy that. I think occasionally he bothers him. I think occasionally everybody...
His length?
Yeah, he's long, but Dirk's averaging 35 points a game. George Karl's not dumb. If he thought he could lock him up, he'd play him. When he plays him big minutes, he gets in foul trouble all the time. You know, I think that's overrated. I think Chris Anderson's played very, very well. He has not stopped Dirk Nowitzki at all.
Well, nobody has.
Exactly.
And Dirk can talk about the people that defend him nicely and still produce 35 in the series.
Well, he has so far 19 points. The thing that was most impressive to me, 19 points in the fourth quarter, 12 in the last 6 minutes when their season was about to end.
And the biggest thing for Dirk with the 19 in the fourth quarter. Chauncey Billups, leaner, doesn't go. Nowitzki able to handle it. Gets it out to Kidd. Here's Terry in rhythm, the three. He has struggled in the postseason, the sixth man of the year.
He's almost 20 points a game in the regular season, and he's under 15 in the playoffs. Both series, too, not just this series, both San Antonio and this series.
Carmelo.
That man has not struggled in the playoffs. And I love Carmelo's attitude right now, his composure. He's letting things come to him. So few forced shots.
Howard, quick move, lays it off the glass.
Josh Howard is a tough cover. Chauncey Billups is a very good defender, but Josh Howard is a tough cover for any guard.
11 points for Josh Howard. Carmelo gets the friendly roll. Bodies flying underneath Howard. And Chris Anderson.
A lot of contact there, but again, I like the officials are letting him play.
Here's Nowitzki. This time it's Nene. Wide open. Feet are set. Kidd is deadly.
Eyes in the back of his head. Dirk sensed the double team coming from behind. Found Jason Kidd in the corner.
Kidd his first points of the game. 5-point game. And Joe Crawford with a whistle. On Eric Dampier. Carmelo Anthony down low, doing some damage.
Yeah, doing some damage to Josh Howard. He's on the floor.
Special night here in Denver. Can they get it done in advance of the Western Conference Finals?
Is this how you look around the house?
Yeah. Pretty much on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis. I look like this until it's time to take care of some business, and then I bring the Birdman out of the cage. The roar of the crowd just definitely, brings out even more energy and pushes the tempo of the game even quicker. So every time they get loud, I get loud too.
Ago when Chris Anderson checked in after missing Game 4, and in the first 2 games of this series averaged 9.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and had 6 blocks in Game 1. So he feeds off of them, and they feed off of him.
They feed off of him. He said when they get loud, he gets loud. He's the reason they get loud.
How about Chauncey Billups? Suspended in the air, finishes, and he's going to head to the free throw line.
Chauncey Billups 4 for 6 from the field already. 10 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. We still have almost 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, in game one, had a total of just 6 points. But since that time, averaging nearly 25 points a game in this series, PJ.
Well, you said it before, Matt. He senses when they need him to be aggressive.
8-point advantage for the Nuggets. Kidd. Tough pass for Brandon Bass to handle. J.J. Barea, an impact in game 4, checks in for Dallas. Carmelo launches the 3. Got it.
Too easy. Dallas standing around. Jason Kidd is bothered by the traps. Very aggressive double teams by Denver. Rick Carlisle with a good timeout. He's not liking what he's seeing right now.
28-11 to run. After the first quarter of action in game 4, Nuggets led by 11. Lead here.
They got to get back quicker. Josh Howard's got to get out. Can't let Melo shoot open jumpers.
Point advantage for the Nuggets with 1:28 remaining here in game 5 of the first quarter. And you look out west. The Lakers last night dominant against the Houston Rockets. J.J. Barea, excellent job in game 4 getting to the hole and able to do it there.
Dallas Mavericks have responded well to Rick Carlisle's timeouts. Denver is such a spurt team. You need to use your timeouts to stop them, but you got to come out of the timeout and do something. Dallas so far has done that.
Great find by the Birdman to J.R. Smith. And Denver has made 9 of their last 10 buckets.
And give Denver credit coming out of the timeout. Good execution. That was a set play.
Nowitzki swings at Kidd. Carmelo flies at him. Howard under 10 of the shot clock. Deflected by Carmelo. Kidd in the lane to Howard. Short corner. Jumper not there for Bass. Nowitzki, good.
You think they'd have to start going to Dirk Nowitzki on a little bit more regular basis. The pick and rolls have not been good for them, Matt.
6 points for Dirk Nowitzki. Off of the miss. Here's J.J. Barea with a Bass. Howard, Nowitzki, and Kidd.
Interesting there. Rick Carlisle slowed him up. They did not want to run. They want to run a set play right here.
Slight differential game clock, shot clock.
Yeah, I thought they had numbers, but he chose not to.
Barea gets the roll, attacking once again.
I think Birdman should get one of those 2 points because he got his hand on the ball.
Chauncey launches, it's a 2, short. 34-27 at the end of the first 12 minutes of action here in game 5, an elimination game for the Dallas Mavericks. Denver looking to advance to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 1985. Can they get it done tonight?
It's time for Coach's End Goal, presented by TNT Smash Hit Leverage.
Well, Coach, it was a good start, but seemed like they got a big run there. Which end is worrying you more, offense or defense right now?
Well, turnovers have been a problem in this building. I think we've got 4 for about 8 points, and that's the difference right now. So, you know, we got to stay aggressive, but they're getting a little more aggressive defensively, so we got to do a better job with the ball.
Only 3 shots for Dirk so far. Will you be more intentional in getting him the ball in the offensive set?
Well, he'll get the ball plenty, you know. But when we start Jet, it tends to the shots tend to balance out a little bit more. So that's probably the reason. But he's going to touch it a lot.
All right, thanks, Rick.
Okay.
Well, you see the runs right there. Rick Carlisle's done a real good job using his timeouts. The problem, Denver has so many of these runs. You look there, 12-2, 12-3, 7-zip, 8-zip. You need about 15 timeouts when you play against Denver, especially in the Pepsi Center.
J.R. Smith, the 3 from the corner. The other thing is, Ron Garrettson calls a foul. Those runs by Denver, they happen so fast. You go back to game 4, 8-0 run, 50 seconds, 8-0 run, 57 seconds, 7-0 run, 46 seconds. They happen like that.
Because they convert turnovers. They get steals, they get block shots, and they score so quickly. Dallas has been struggling. The 9 points off turnovers is a big problem, and the main culprit is Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd's got 3 turnovers already, 5 turnovers for 9 points already for the Mavs.
Foul on Brandon Bass, his first. Chauncey Billups guarded by Kidd. Nene sets a screen on the switch. Nowitzki with Chauncey. Now Kidd flies back at him. Carmelo driving.
Antoine Wright has not defended Carmelo well at all in this series. Again, he's an impossible cover, but Antoine Wright's a better defender than he's shown.
Carmelo has missed just once. 5 of 6 from the field, has 11 points. Anderson and J.R. Smith trapping Kidd. Barea underneath, Bass sends it back out. Here's Kidd, shot clock down, 3, no, tapped out Nowitzki. Antoine Wright handles. Look underneath, Dirk gets Anderson up in the air, finishes, and he'll go to the free throw line. Last time out, here are the two coaches.
Our energy's good. All right, we're moving our feet down there. Challenge, make sure we get 5 guys rebounding.
Hey, gentlemen, you need to you need one defensive quarter where they don't score more than 20 points. Come on, pride up and play.
Sometimes you tell the truth to your players, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just try and make them feel good, get them out there and play. J.J. Barea, last possession, that offensive rebound was huge. He made a great look, found Dirk Nowitzki underneath.
Anderson just picked up his second. Nowitzki with 9 points. 6-point advantage. J.R. Smith in the lane. Carmelo fires over Barea again. Carmelo Anthony from downtown.
He's got a set of footprints in that right corner. They better get some Dallas footprints next to him.
6 of 7, 14 points. Here's Bass. Bass with a hand to the face. Jumper not there. Anthony. Kick to Anderson. Anthony Carter sends it back. J.R. Smith.
And they got away with a push.
Denver by 9. Bass backing down on Carmelo. And Bass, nice fake, and then the finish.
He's improved as the series worn on, but that's the thing that he's been unable to do. Denver's length has really bothered him inside. When he scored, it's been off jump shots or at the free throw line. It's been very difficult for him to finish inside.
Yeah, last 2 games in the series averaging 13.5 points, PJ. In the first 2, a combined 10 points. Here's J.R. Smith. Drills it.
J.R. Smith, 13 straight playoff games he's had double figures. That's really impressive for somebody coming off the bench.
Averaging 16 points in the series. Bass is doubled. Nowitzki, guarded by Nene, backing down, shake, shimmy. Anderson, ahead to Carmelo. Denver by 10. Travel, and a turnover. How about Carmelo Anthony tonight?
So he just takes what's there for him. That time he knew he could go on Antoine Wright. He went. Good find by JR right there. You can't leave the best player on the other team that open. Some people you can help off, some you can't. That last defensive possession for Dallas, they helped off Anthony Carter. That's okay. You got to make AC try and beat you. You don't help off Carmelo Anthony.
Since game 1 of the playoffs, when he scored 13 points against New Orleans, he's averaging nearly 29 points in the postseason. Eric Dampier underneath.
That is somebody that Dallas needs something from. Damp has not given them hardly anything. Nothing on the offensive end, not nearly as much as he should defensively or rebounding. They need Eric Dampier to give him something inside.
It's time for Gatorade Around the Cooler. Here's Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt, of course, between games 4 and 5, all the talk in this series was about the off-court activities instead of what was happening on the court. Of course, what happened with Kenyon Martin and Mark Cuban, how the Denver family members were treated in Dallas. Because of that, the Denver Nuggets brought in 50 extra security guards tonight. But Dallas did not bring any family members except Jason Terry's mom. She's the only one here, and she is sitting in a suite, so we expect no problems tonight. Again, as Ernie mentioned earlier, Mark Cuban not at the game tonight. He's receiving an award. Real quick update on Carmelo Anthony. A couple of possessions ago, he took a shot to the ribs, was holding his left rib cage. Coach Carl asked him if he wanted to come out. Carmelo kept himself in the game. We'll have to watch to see if that becomes a bigger story later in the game, Matt.
Carmelo Anthony early on, 6 of 7 with 14 points.
Well, the good news is, as Marty said, we're talking about the game. We're not talking about the crowd. We're not talking about owners.
J.J. Barea, Mark Cuban is in Las Vegas receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. It was scheduled some 4 months ago. Anthony Carter finds Kenyon Martin.
We had Anthony Carter with us in San Antonio. Players want to play with him because he's a pass-first guy. Never entered his mind to shoot the ball. He penetrated. He was looking for Kenyon Martin. Kenyon, good cut off the ball. They run better with Anthony Carter. They move quicker. Guys don't stand around unless they're wide open for a shot. They move because they know he'll put the ball in their hand.
Only the second trip for the Denver Nuggets to the free throw line.
Well, part of that is Dallas has to defend better. Part of it is the referees and the players have adjusted. I love this. The flow of this game is so much better in Game 3 and Game 4 with all the fouls. The officials have adjusted. The players have adjusted.
61 in Game 3. Nearly the same total in Game 4, PJ.
Well, again, you got to if there's fouls, you got to call them. But you would like to think you don't need that many foul calls, and you certainly don't need that many technicals and flagrants. Rick Carlisle certainly doesn't need this many turnovers.
That's been one of the major issues. They overcame it in Game 4. Here's Carmelo spinning. It continues for Carmelo Anthony, 7 of 8. What a night.
George Karl's going to have to tackle him and pull him off the court. He's not coming off the court.
Yeah, they've had that before, about him coming off the court, right?
I didn't have that in mind, but you're right. I don't think they're going to have it tonight.
Yeah, an elbow to the ribcage is not going to happen. He's staying in. Brandon Bass misfires. Carter always looking ahead to pitch it. Settles in with Martin. Martin backing down. Double comes with Terry. That leaves Carmelo wide open. Rare air ball. Carter sneaks in, lays it up and through.
Double team again gets you in trouble. Rick Carlisle senses the run again. Another timeout. See, it's bad when you got to double Kenyon Martin, but Brandon Bass is too small, or Dallas feels he's too small to cover him. Can't do it. Carmelo Anthony, inside, outside, doesn't matter. Driving the ball, shooting threes. Anthony Carter with the offensive board.
It's time for the Cold Hard Facts presented by Coors Light. The 1984-85 season opened with a trade for the Denver Nuggets. Kiki Vandeweghe to Portland in exchange for Wayne Cooper, Pat Lever, Calvin Nat. 85 marked the last time the Nuggets advanced to the Western Conference Finals. Nuggets legend Dan Issel retired following the season. And in May of that year, the franchise was sold, and all that in 1985 when you would swing by Zang's and then you would take the bus over to McNichols Arena to see the Nuggets play. All that in 1985, and of course the #1 song that year by one of your favorite groups, Wham! Careless Whisper. DJ.
So when I say really funny?
No, you're supposed to say very funny.
Oh, very funny. I'm sorry. Great research on your off day, Matt.
48-37 and a foul.
Boy, that's difficult to do, what Dirk Nowitzki just did. He turned, he made the move, he was going to shoot it, and then he saw the weak side defender coming and held his ground to get fouled. He's got great footwork.
Anderson just picked up his third.
Billy Hanslick, old buddy, excellent player, very, very good coach. Still working television for the Nuggets.
course, former Denver Nugget. Dirk Nowitzki from the free throw line, and the first one is good.
Josh Howard with 11 points in the first quarter, as is his norm. Got them going. Now Nowitzki's going to have to step up and do a lot more, and you would think Jason Terry's going to have to do something for Dallas to stay in touch.
Nowitzki has made his last 21 free throws. Made 16 straight after missing his first in game 4, and there's J.R. Smith. The three once again.
Good execution. George Karl with the play call. J.J. Barea is just not big enough to contest J.R. Smith.
51-39. Biggest lead for Denver. Antoine Wright lays it up and in.
I hope our fans are appreciating how well Dirk Nowitzki and Carmelo Anthony pass the ball for big-time scorers.
Here's Anthony Carter. Barea with Dampier, Nowitzki, Wright, and Terry. J.R. Smith with Barea getting by him and deflected out of bounds by Carter, and it's going to be Dallas ball. 9 ticks remaining on the shot clock.
Antoine Wright does a good job. Sees that his defenders behind him, goes right to the rim. That'd be better help defense from Denver right there. But again, Dirk is alert. You double team him or you turn your head, he's going to find the open man.
Nene with a foul. Bill Kennedy with a call.
I don't know what Nene is possibly thinking about. That's almost a cross-body block, and he's telling Bill Kennedy I didn't touch him. The aggressive double teams from Denver in the pick and rolls has really bothered the Dallas guards. Both J.J. Barea and Jason Kidd have repeatedly been caught up in the air.
Dampier left wide open, and he makes it. He stood around there, and everybody said, you want it? Go ahead.
Thought about it, autographed it, and then shot it.
And he made it. More importantly for Dallas, back to a 10-point game.
Bigger defender on JR right now, Antoine Wright.
Smith from deep. Too strong. Tapped out by Nene. Here's Billups. Pulls it back out. Kenyon Martin backing down on Nowitzki with the hook. Tapped in. Excellent job.
That might have been AC. But
it was.
When you're struggling, you can't defend these guys in the half court to begin with. You can't be giving up offensive rebounds.
Dampier on a feed from Nowitzki, too high. Here's Billups. Nene! Timeout Dallas. Another quick run by Denver.
When you turn the ball over in the half court against Denver, they make you pay. Anthony Carter, Chauncey Billups, just a touch pass. Easy finish for Nene.
Well, you see the banner hanging in the top of the Pepsi Center here. 432 wins for Coach Doug Moe. And you would think after all those wins, it would be easy for him to watch a little basketball. No, he can't watch. He can't even stand it. This is what Doug Moe does during the game. He paces the hallway underneath the center here, just walking back and forth. He'll go to Coach George Karl's office. He'll go to the video room, anywhere but out here with everybody else watching the game. He told me yesterday it just makes him too nervous to watch it, although he claims he's enjoying this a lot more than he enjoyed '85 when he led the team to the Western Conference Finals then. And Coach Karl says, I wouldn't have it any other way. I just like having him around. Coach Moe, still a figure here in Denver.
Yeah, I talked to him about that 1985 team, and he was, reflecting on it. Said when Alex English got injured, he said that's when Los Angeles Lakers really took control of that series. Nowitzki, Dampier. And of course, the Lakers ended up winning it all that year against the Boston Celtics.
I can sympathize with Doug Moe. When you're a player, when you're a coach, you're involved in a game. When you're sitting there with nothing to do, that's the worst feeling in the world. So I understand totally why he feels that way.
J.R. Smith misfires.
Good help by Anthony Carter.
Kidd, 6 on the clock. Here's Howard, had 11 in the first quarter. Foul.
Eric Dampier came up with the offensive rebound on the previous possession. But again, I don't think Rick Carlisle is going to mind that kind of foul. Being aggressive, trying to give him something on the offensive boards, that's a plus.
His second.
They need to hang in right now, Matt. This one could go either way right now. There's a lot of time left in the game, but Dallas needs to stay in touch, somewhere near 10 points.
Turnover by Denver. Denver's turned it over 5 times. It's led to 10 points for the Mavericks. Fans wanted a call. Travel, it's not. Howard driving on Nene. Shot clock at 7. Pass deflected. Shot clock down to 4. Loose ball. Jump ball.
Good call. Kenyon Martin was trying to get a timeout, but he didn't have control of the ball. Both players were grabbing for it. Jason Kidd is out of sorts again, and this building has been terrible for him all 3 games of the playoffs, or 2.5 games so far in Denver.
Yeah, Jason Kidd had just 1 turnover in game 3, 1 in game 4. Off of the tip, Phillips.
No excuse. Denver recognized they were going to get the tip. They just set a play. They screened the Dallas players, tapped it long.
Fast break points, 13-3, pardon me.
Good heady basketball by Denver.
Howard on the inside. J.R. Smith fires over Terry, pops in and out. 61-47, 2:45 remaining in the second quarter. Phillips. Nene. Carter swings it. Here is J.R. Smith. No. Score is 59-47 as it is changed here. Nowitzki backing down. Here's Kidd. Count it.
Big shot. Big shot. Jason Kidd needed that.
His second 3. You talked about them just doing whatever to hang around, and here they are at 9 with under 2 to go in the second quarter.
If it's under 10 at the half, Rick Carlisle is going to be delighted the way they've played on the defensive end and the fact that they're turning the ball over so much.
Dallas is shooting 57%. How about Phillips to the hole, plus the foul. 61 down to 50. Let's check in with EJ down in Atlanta. Ernie?
All right, Matt, Southwest Airlines game break. In just a few minutes, I'll be joined by Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith for a breakdown of the first half. Kenny will work his magic on his new favorite studio toy. And after the Mavs and Nuggets, stick around for Inside the NBA, highlights, post-game chatter. And yes, you read it right. Push-Up Mania 1. Charles challenged to a push-up contest by one of our camera women. All on Inside later tonight. Back to you, Matt.
Hey, what more could you want, PJ? You got the thingamajig, and then also you got the push-ups.
I'll watch Kenny's thingamajig. My money's on the lady.
No question.
Nowitzki.
We were talking prior to the last possession how Dallas was kind of staying in touch, getting back in it. That just triggers Chauncey Billups. It's time for me to step up and do something.
16 points, 7 assists, no turnovers, along with 6 rebounds. Here's Carmelo, so quick, driving, scoop shot, and gets the roll! Carmelo Anthony.
Mini Dr. J. Doesn't stay up in the air quite as long, but there was a little bit of Dr. J in that shot.
Oh, spectacular. 8 of 10 now.
Little crossover, up and under.
Two-time All-Star into the second round for the first time in his career, and he's arrived.
And announced today, third-team All-NBA along with teammate Chauncey Billups. And first-team All-NBA Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks.
For the fourth time for Dirk. The NBA playoffs continue on TNT and beyond. Boston, Orlando, Lakers in Houston, Game 6, ESPN. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern. And then on ABC, Conference Semifinals, Game 7, or Western Conference Finals, Game 1. Coverage begins Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern. But the play of Carmelo Anthony has just been brilliant in this postseason.
But the composure, letting things come to him, good shot selection, aggressive defense, and he's passing the ball too. Over 4 assists a game, I believe.
4.5. Billups, offensive foul. Howard flying to his backside is helped up off of the ground by Terry.
Little bit of disagreement. George Karl wanted to block. I think he got there and got his feet set. Could have gone either way. Billy Kennedy inside had the block.
Nowitzki backing down. And a foul on Carmelo. Tough match for Carmelo.
A very tough match for Carmelo, but that's got the crowd antsy going in here. Both officials were looking at each other. I think one had a block, one had a charge. This is just a mismatch underneath. As good a defender as we're saying he's becoming, Dirk's just too big, and his footwork is too good inside.
Carmelo's second. Here's Nowitzki at the free throw line.
Carmelo did a very good job in Game 4 stripping Dirk. Twice he got away with it. Once was a call, and it was a tough call. Looked like he had a lot of ball. When Dirk protects the ball against him, there's nothing Carmelo can do.
This July, Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton returns as Nathan Ford in TNT Smash Hit Leverage. Don't miss new season premiere this July only on TNT.
2 or 3 big possessions before the half.
Anthony racks up the 3. Carmelo Anthony with 21 first half points.
Whatever defense you're in, you have to know where he is.
9 of 11 from the field. And Anthony, energized on the defensive end, knocks it out of bounds.
And Denver's going to get it back. Denver should get the last shot of the half. Might be a little bit rushed, but they're going to get another one.
5.3 of a second differential. Game clock, shot clock. Nowitzki backing down. Here comes a double. Kidd gets it back to Dirk. Dirk driving, leaves it short. Bass can't follow. Numbers for Denver. Terry launches. Too strong. A flurry at the end by the Nuggets, and they lead 69-55 at half. Carmelo Anthony with 21 points. And Denver with the ability to get out and go. As we send it over to Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt, the young man continues to amaze. An unbelievable quarter and an unbelievable half for you. Did you slow down at all since Game 4?
I'm trying not to. Just trying to be aggressive. Try to get to the hole. They give me open shots. I'm knocking them down. And we're playing together today.
Coach Carlissimo called you a mini Dr. J a moment ago on that layup down here. Walk me through that play.
I seen Dirk coming up, and I just made a move. It wasn't nothing to it. I just made a move. He just made a great move.
Nice little swoop move. We saw you take the shot to the ribs. First of all, you okay? And you weren't going to come out of the game then, were you?
No. I'm not coming out of the game. We need this one. We got to close this one out.
All right, Carmelo and the Nuggets lead by 14. After a quick break, we'll head to Atlanta in our T-Mobile Halftime Studios for what should be a very interesting T-Mobile Halftime Studio show with Ernie, Kenny, and Charles.
Getting set for the second half here in Game 5 as the Denver Nuggets look to advance to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 1985. They lead by 14. Now, going back to this Monday, one of the reasons why you weren't there, Game 4, the huge event at Seton Hall, the 2009 Seton Hall commencement. PJ Carlesimo, there's Bill Raftery. Is that Bill Raftery on the left or on the right? What?
Please.
Is that Bill and his other brother Bill there? Oh, look at nice hat. That's a very nice cap there. And as you have told me all day, I should now call you Dr. Carlesimo.
Or Dr. Sunshine, whichever you want. I'm a little hurt. Mike Burks, our producer, wouldn't let me wear my academic garb tonight.
Yeah, well, you got to save the cap, right? That was a very nice event, but Seton Hall honoring you and Bill Raftery?
We took a lot of heat last night. We were at Chuck Daly's wake in Florida, and after we went out, a lot of people were referring to us as doctors, not in a complimentary way.
I would imagine that you actually went out with your hat last night, the cap.
Let's look at the stats.
I'm going to look at that picture again.
Big problem, 64%. You've got no chance. You give up 69 points, allow a team to shoot 64%. On top of that, 15 fast break points to 3. And you look back, I want to give Kenny and Charles some love. They're right. Starting Jason Terry didn't help, but it was 63-53 at halftime of Game 4. He put Jason Terry in the lineup. They responded with 66 points in the second half. They're going to need more than that this half.
All right, Marty.
Well, Matt and Dr. Carlesimo, I talked to Coach Rick Carlisle. He told me they could be facing the final 24 minutes of their season, obviously, if we don't get better on defense. 64% on the road. He said, no way we can get by with that if we do not tighten up on the defensive end. He said he will stick with Jason Terry to start the third quarter here. Matt.
All right, Marty, 69 points. That ties the most points Dallas has ever allowed in a half in a playoff game. And for Denver, just 4 points shy of a playoff mark for points and a half. 73 back, yes, in that year, 1985, against Utah. Dante Jones, this is the largest lead, Doctor.
Yeah, this is not the way you wanted to start. And again, Dallas won Game 4 with offense, 119-117. Their only chance is for Jason Terry to give him some production. Dirk Nowitzki and Josh Howard are doing their job. They need help. And as Rick said, they need some semblance of defense at the other end.
Dallas trying to force a Game 6 on a Friday night. Back at home in Dallas for the Denver Nuggets. A trip to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 24 years. Chauncey Billups sends it now to Martin along with Carmelo. And as Kenny the Jet said, the big bully going to work. In the lane, big bully for sure.
Well defended by Josh Howard, didn't make any difference. Carmelo's having one of those nights.
23 points now on 10 and 12. Josh Howard, too strong. One of the things about Carmelo Anthony, you knew he could do so much damage 15 and in, but as we talked about before at halftime, his ability to stretch it outside.
Well, again, it's the versatility of the man. This time he's putting it on the floor. He takes a pretty good hit. Looked like a Dirk horse shot. Steve Smith called it the other night. Falling back, he knocks the shot in. He just has too many weapons, and as you were talking about, now he's shooting over 40% from the 3 in the playoffs. He's 3 for 4 tonight. There's nothing you can do.
Coming into this year is Kenyon Martin. Loses it, out of bounds, turnover. Carmelo Anthony, a career 29% three-point shooter. This season, 37%. As you mentioned, in the postseason, now above 40%.
And a lot of that is shot selection, though, Matt. He's taking better shots. He had a tendency in the past, as Dirk knocks down another 3, he had a tendency in the past to just, when he had it going or when he hadn't scored in a while, he'd jack one up. His shot selection wasn't real good. His shot selection is markedly improved this year.
13-point lead for the Nuggets. Chauncey thought about it, gives it up. Dante Jones spinning in the lane, loses a handle. Dallas with Terry, gives it to Kidd. Here's Howard down low, Billups on him, backing down. Carmelo doubles. Kidd, feet set again. It's a 3, it's good. We've said it how many times? Feet set, he is lights out from downtown.
Both of these teams have been impressive. When you double either of these teams, they're very good at sharing the ball, getting the ball to the open man.
9 points now for Kidd. 10-point game and a foul.
Coach Carl does not like the start. You wouldn't think the way Dallas responded the other night, they were just going to go away quietly. Jason Kidd does a pretty good job staying in front of Chauncey. Again, another block charge call is always the toughest call. Could have gone either way. I like the call.
Third straight turnover. And for Billups, a third foul. Terry quickly to the hole. Finds Howard open in the corner. And underneath is Dante Jones with a rebound and a 10-point lead. Billups driving and knocked out of bounds by Jason Kidd.
Dallas has already played more good defense in the first 3 minutes than he did basically the entire first half.
And allowing those 69 points. Nene spinning on Dampier. Dampier gets the block. Here's Kidd. Does it again from deep.
I'll tell you, it was marked watching the games on TV the other night. The difference, the way Atlanta responded to a knockout game and the way Dallas responded. Got to give the Mavericks a lot of credit.
And the experience on the side of Dallas with Nowitzki and the likes of Jason Kidd. It's a 9-0 run by the Mavs. Here's Carmelo driving, and a foul. It's going to be charged to Howard.
Carmelo walking very gingerly right there. Eric Dampier, good job moving his feet, stays in the play. Nene kind of got caught with nothing to do. An easy block for Eric Dampier.
Denver has turned it over 10 times in this game for 21 points for Dallas. Nene, nice job getting separation there and finishing over top Dampier.
Pretty good collision. Again, the refs letting him play.
Kidd trapped. Who to touch last? Joe Crawford looking at Nene and says, yes, off of you. Dallas retains possession, 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Jay Kidd has not been comfortable against the Denver double teams the entire game.
Under 10 of the shot clock. Nowitzki sets the screen. Kidd in the lane. Howard spins. Shot clock at 2. Nowitzki has to fire. Shot clock violation.
Jason Kidd was expecting Josh Howard to stay in the corner and spot up. He wanted to hit him for a jump shot, and instead, Josh started to go to the basket and got them all disjointed. That ended up being a tough possession.
Howard 11 of his 14 in the first quarter. Nowitzki with 20, and Kidd now with 12. Carmelo pulls up from the foul line.
Little reach by Josh Howard got him in trouble. He was in front of Carmelo, and he kind of reached forward, got off balance. Melo sensed it and went right by him.
Grimacing there. Earlier got knocked in the ribs. And then at the other end, an exchange with Howard. Here's Kidd. Does it again from downtown. Jason Kidd bang on with a 3.
Dallas sharing the ball.
5 threes. Kidd with 15. 8-point game. Billups underneath, posting up. Tough move. Nowitzki. Martin on him, up fake. Double comes. Here's Terry, quick trigger. They needed it and got it from Jason Terry. And a technical foul is going to be charged to Josh Howard. And no need for that at this stage.
Well, you saw it the other night. You couldn't figure out which team was hurting themselves more the other night with the technical fouls at the end of the game. Double team again. We've said it repeatedly. When you double team anybody, there's a little double team. Dirk has it. Rotation, one more pass to the open man in the corner, Jason Kidd.
And Chauncey Billups to the line. Dallas had 4 technicals in game 4. Denver with 3, and then 2 flagrant ones. Josh Howard had one of those flagrant ones, as did Jason Terry. But you're making a run, you're hanging around on the road in the third quarter, and then that.
Well, it's not as bad now. Those ones in the fourth quarter the other night, they were inexcusable. And the refs maybe had a little shorter fuse on Monday night.
Kenyon Martin's going to try it. And the three doesn't go. And Howard is there with a rebound. Dallas tonight 10 of 20 from downtown. They're 5 of 8 in this quarter from three-point range. Terry cranks it up. Lets it fly. Doesn't go. Nowitzki tries to keep it alive.
They need Jason Terry badly to get back in this game.
Terry 2 of 6, has 6 points. Here's Carmelo. Too strong. Long rebound to Martin. Chauncey settles it down. Dante Jones driving. And after 2 threes, Dante Jones decides to put it on the floor and go to the hole, and now he's going to the line.
When you feel like they're trying to climb back into the game, but pass goes to Jason Terry. It was a good look. He's got to knock it down. That's the Jason Terry Dallas had all year.
So new Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you save 2,600 miles worth of gas. That's
almost 4 trips between rivals Cleveland and Boston.
How'd you know that?
I've covered a lot of basketball.
Only 2 that ever put up numbers, only 2 times it ever happened. Elgin Baylor and Jerry West and Michael Jordan and somebody, I don't know.
Charles
somebody
Barkley.
for Charles Barkley. I'm sorry, I forgot.
And I wonder now if Ron Artest will change his opinion on Charles. Huh?
That was a few years, a few pounds ago, but Charles, obviously a great player, but these two are playing at a very, very special level, and they're sustaining it all throughout the playoffs. I think it's most impressive to me is they're doing it in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line.
10-point game with 5:38 to go in the third quarter. Last 5 field goals for Dallas, threes. 10 shots in the quarter. 9 are three-pointers. Here's another one. It's a 2. Foot was on the line. It's a 2. It's good for Terry.
He'll take it. That's 19 points already in a little over 6.5 minutes. George Karl does not like the way his defense is playing. Rick Carlisle does. His team's only given up 13 points so far.
Terry now with 8. Martin puts it on the floor, driving, pops out. Nene flies in, offensive rebound, emphatic slam.
Can't happen. Damp's got to get that rebound.
Owner Stan Kroenke bought the Denver Nuggets in 2000. Hoping his team will emerge from this series and head to the Western Conference Finals. And a lot of Garrett's in it with a whistle and a foul. It's on Nene, his second.
Kenyon Martin can't finish, but you see Eric Dampier. He didn't box out and he didn't go and get it. It was a tough bounce. The ball bounced twice on the rim, but Nene stayed with it. And you're trying to claw back into a game against a team that's going to put 110, 115 on the board. You can't give up those kind of baskets. No excuse for that.
And the 2 games prior to tonight here at the Pepsi Center, Denver averaging 113 points, Dallas 100 points. Nowitzki with Nene on him. Shot clock down to 3. Terry pulls up, fires, shot no. And J.R. Smith on the floor for Denver. Sends it ahead, Nene! Wave it off, foul on Nowitzki. Nene in the act.
Well, I'll tell you, they just explode down the floor. Jason Terry never had control of the ball. He was really in a tough situation when he had the ball. But JR with the good read again. He doesn't get the assist because Nene can't finish.
And fast break points in the first 2 games, PJ, here. 54-13 in favor of Denver.
Well, the difference tonight, Dallas is getting fast break points themselves. They're getting out a little bit and trying to run. But in this building, no one can run with Denver. They're more used to the altitude. They have a deeper bench. He keeps wheeling those guys in. I'll tell you, it's tough. It's really a dilemma because you feel you need 110, 115 points. They're averaging 112 points. You need 115 points to win. How do you get that many points unless you run? You're not going to stop this team in the half court. They're too good offensively.
Kidd from the foul line. And he is having himself a third quarter, 17 points now, 11 in the quarter.
Well, the third scorer has emerged for Dallas. It's Jason Kidd. They seem like they've solved their offensive problems. Can they get enough stops?
Nene gets by Dampier. Martin and Nowitzki comes over in the foul.
Nene created that situation. He went by Eric Dampier. As soon as Dirk Nowitzki went to help, he put the ball in Kenyon Martin's hand.
Nowitzki, that's his third. Martin heads to the free throw line. Kenyon played in the NBA Finals with the New Jersey Nets. With Jason Kidd. And speaking of Jason Kidd, let's send it over to Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, Matt, I was talking to Jason about his need to be a leader on this team. He said, you know, I need to push tempo, and I know I need to turn the turnovers down. But he said the pressure on this team shouldn't be on Dirk to score all the points. I need to be that second or third scorer, certainly showing it here in the third quarter, that leadership and the ability to put points on the board as well.
Well, he's made his last 5 shots, and PJ, he has said, hey, pressure's not on us. Pressure's on Denver to close this thing out.
I'll give him 50% love on that.
50?
Pressure's on them, or they're going home.
Fishing. Tied up, jump ball. And Carmelo and Jason Kidd right there. Carmelo getting up angry with some words.
Last time we had a jump ball like this, Denver took advantage of it and tapped it. Looks like this time Dallas had Eric Dampier's back at half court. Melo should get this jump. They're not going to let him steal an easy 2 points like they did in the first half. Jason might be bleeding the way he's looking.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. And Jason headed back over to the Dallas bench.
Rick Carlisle takes advantage, calls his players over. He gets a free timeout here as long as they get Jason back in the game quickly.
NBA playoffs continue on TNT and beyond ESPN. Thursday, Boston, Orlando, Lakers, and Houston. Game 6's coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern. Then on ABC, conference semifinals, Game 7 or Western Conference Finals begin. All starts at 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday on ABC. 87-76 Denver with the lead with 3:43 to go in the third quarter. And Jason Kidd looks around and says, let's go.
Trainer / cut man Casey Smith gets him back in there. Casey did a great job with the national team, the Olympic gold team, 3-year commitment. He and Keith Jones from Houston did great work for that team.
2 teammates from Team USA, Carmelo and Jason Kidd, controlled by Denver.
It's a turnover.
Smith with Terry on him. Loses a handle. Finds Nene. Nice slip there by Nene, but unable to finish. Foul.
This is going to be an unpopular call. Oh, he called it against Jason Terry.
Yeah. And that's J.R. Smith was reacting to Bill Kennedy. He said, hey, Bill Kennedy did a great job. Just wait a minute. Let me finish with the call.
Thank you. Let me make the call first, then you can react. JR is usually good at getting steals from behind. When he lets a guy, baits a guy, he goes by him, he pokes from the back. That time he knocked it away from Jason Terry from the front side. That's 2 trips, turnovers, back-to-back for the Dallas Mavericks.
Bonus situation, J.R. Smith to the free throw line. You hear the roar in the background. Birdman is in.
Coach should have a lot of energy. He hasn't been soaring for about 3 games now.
True. 9 minutes of action tonight. Denver on a 10-4 run since it was 79-72. Nowitzki working on Martin. Shot clock under 10. Up fake. Spins. Here's Terry. Short.
He got poked in the chest when he shot the ball, and I didn't see it.
Technical. Bill Kennedy's waving everything off. Technical foul on Jason Terry.
Jason Terry's really upset. He felt he was fouled on his shot. Actually, his technical foul probably stopped the fast break going the other way, but as he shot the ball, he felt he got poked in the chest. Coaches always talk about doing your work early. You see Kenyon Martin right here. Dirk Nowitzki inside on the box. Watch how Kenyon Martin pushes Dirk Nowitzki off before he gets the ball. That's doing your work early. Freeze it right here. He's got him out on top of the mountain, the Whitecap, away from the basket. Kenyon Martin's a very good defender when the man has the ball and before he gets it. Now he's leaning on him, closes the gap, makes Dirk kick it out. This is the play Jason Terry thought he got fouled on, caused a technical foul. Kenyon Martin is one of the better big defenders in the league because he's got quick feet, he's strong, and he takes pride in his defense. He's aggressive, nasty player. Good nasty.
David West in the first round knows all about that from the New Orleans Hornets because he did a job on David West. The technical foul shot by Chauncey Billups.
Kenyon Martin with very little recognition this year. Maybe it's because of those couple of years with the injuries. I don't think he got a vote for the Defensive Player of the Year. He's one of the better 4-man defenders in the league.
And Dwight Howard winning that award. Chauncey Billups gives it to J.R. Smith in the corner. The 3 is good.
Draws the help with the clever head fake. As soon as the double comes, one more pass. Chauncey Billups. Is that 10 assists for him tonight?
Double-double for Chauncey Billups, 20 and 10. 14-4 run. Howard finds Barea. Martin flying at him, shot too short, and Nowitzki's foul.
Chauncey Billups is a composed player. Watch, he gets a man running at him, so he fakes Jason Kidd. That draws J.J. Barea. Simple basketball play. I'll give it to J.R. for the open shot.
13 points for J.R. Smith.
That's 14 straight playoff games. He's in double figures.
Averaging over 16 points during that stretch. Nowitzki's fouled by Kenyon Martin and Kidd. Howard, everybody racing over to help him up.
Not everybody. Kenyon Martin didn't.
Well, everybody on his own team. Let's put it that way.
Correct.
Yeah. Of course, this series really got a rolling with that flagrant call. Kenyon Martin.
He's about 5 minutes into game 1.
Yes.
Dirk started out 5 for 5. He had 10 points in about 5 minutes. Drove baseline down in front of the Dallas bench and ended up near the standard. A polite little push, just a message.
And that started the series off. And here we are in game 5.
Well, it's been 2 different series. The games in Dallas totally different than the games in Denver. In the first 2 games, Dallas hung in for the first 3 quarters, and Denver just warmed down. Tonight, their defense has not been good enough to allow them to hang in the Dallas Mavericks.
Dirk is 9 of 9 from the free throw line. Billups and a foul as Martin was slashing to the bucket.
I'm not so sure Chauncey should have thrown that pass. It looked like he had a layup, but this is an unselfish point guard. See, he's open. Probably should have shot it himself, but again, Kenyon Martin appreciates the fact that he laid it off to him.
Kidd just earned his second. Denver 11 of 13 from the free throw line. Dallas 10 of 14 as Martin misfires with the first.
Where Denver's really made a quantum leap is their three-point shooting. They're an average three-point shooting team during the year. They're the best in the NBA in the playoffs, three-point percentage, and they're also getting almost 8.5 threes made a game. incredible to make that kind of jump.
Well, you go into today, and Chauncey Billups, 30 of 55 from three-point range in the playoffs. Third best.
That'll help your team percentage a little bit.
J.J. Barea trapped. Loses the handle. Last touch by Denver. Dallas basketball.
Again, the double team and the aggressive defense of the Denver Nuggets.
1:42 remaining in the third, 94-78. Nowitzki spinning around over the shoulder. And Carmelo with a foul on Bass.
Heck of a pass by Dirk Nowitzki. Not so sure there was contact there, but again, it's been very difficult for Brandon Bass to finish underneath against the Denver Nuggets.
Brandon Bass to the free throw line. Brown is back. Get the family together for the new season premiere of Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns right after brand new episodes of House of Pain Wednesday, May 27th, starting at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, only on TBS. Very funny.
Oh, because I messed it up last time. You weren't going to let me do it tonight. All right.
No, you
I understand.
What did you say? Very.
No, I said something else funny.
I mean, come on.
You're right.
Zara's been all over that. Very funny. 94-80. When you're a doctor. 127 on the clock as Nowitzki comes down with it. It's a 5-point game at the end of 3 quarters in game 4. 14 points here. Big spread. Kidd forces up a shot, and Anderson comes down with it.
I wish more referees would lay off that call the way Joe Crawford did right there. Wasn't a basketball play. Jason tried to get underneath Chauncey Billups. Good no call.
Air ball. Rare miss. Anderson fires it off at Nowitzki. They love him.
And they love him that time for 2 reasons. 1, it was a good heady hustle play. 2, we hit Dirk with the ball.
Anthony Carter checks in for Chauncey Billups. Billups has produced a double-double, and early on he really felt that his team needed his presence offensively and asserted himself. Big-time performance tonight by Chauncey Billups. Carter swings it. Here's Carmelo. It's a 3. Pops out. J.R. Smith. How about J.R. Smith coming in? Taps it up, keeps it alive, comes down with it. Second chance opportunity, Denver.
Yeah, not that Dallas is in good shape, but that's the last thing Rick Carlisle wants to see right now, them getting outworked on the boards.
Knocked away, Bass saves it. Antoine Wright. Slight differential, game clock, shot clock.
Chance to get it to 12 or 11 at the quarter. Again, Dallas has been bitten in this situation many times. They need to wind it down and not leave the Denver Nuggets time to score at the buzzer.
Knocked away. You just mentioned it. Here's Carmelo. Carter, weak side, no. Anderson, wave it off. Not soon enough. 94-80, Denver, 12 minutes away from the Western Conference Finals. Chauncey Billups tonight, 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists.
If he gets the minutes, he might get the triple-double. He knows that's where I'm supposed to be every year in the conference finals.
6 straight coming into this year.
Well, George, the fourth quarter has traditionally been yours. What do you need to do to deliver the knockout punch here?
I'd like to see a defensive quarter where they don't make 6 threes on us. I think they got the 3-ball high that scared us, but we got a good lead, but we still got to finish up the game.
Yeah, 94 points, but you didn't seem happy with the offensive flow quite a bit in that quarter. Why?
Well, I thought again, we're forcing shots that we don't have to force. Again, it's obvious that we can get good shots if we work with each other and pass the ball to each other.
Thanks, George.
One of the few times Denver didn't close the quarter out well. Melo missed a couple shots. They had that last possession they missed too. George should be upset. Their field goal percentage has dropped from 62. They're down to 56. How can you win a game shooting only 56%?
Well, they did miss their last 7. Dallas won for their last 6. Here's Jason Kidd. Smith on him. Anderson guards Brandon Bass. Bass backing down. fading. Tough shot, and it rolls around and through.
It was a tough shot. Not a big margin for error right now for the Dallas Mavericks. Monday night, they outscored Denver 34-27 in the fourth quarter. That wouldn't be enough tonight.
Now, the fourth quarters have been owned by Denver in the first 3 games of this series. Here's Kmart, and Martin lays it off of the glass. Kidd. 11-17 in the third quarter. Antoine to right. Too strong. Bass offensive rebound plus the foul. As he's able to finish. And Brandon Bass providing some offensive punch here early on in the fourth.
That's what Brandon Bass does. He's aggressive on the boards. He uses his quickness and his leaping ability. He's very active on the boards, and he did a good job of finishing. Kenyon Martin with the ball. JR again. Good read. Kenyon with the good finish right there. Both of these teams passing the ball very, very well. Talked about Carmelo. J.R. Smith, for some of you picture him shooting those J's on the outside. When he puts the ball on the floor, he's very good at seeing his teammates, and he's better now at taking care of the ball. He's an improved ball handler.
Smith to Carmelo. Wave it off. Offensive foul. Offensive foul charge to Carmelo Anthony, his fourth. And look at the third quarter numbers. Dallas from deep, that was the difference.
Well, 50%, that's what George was upset about. Dallas had gotten themselves back to a workable margin. It was down like 5 or 6, but then they had a real bad stretch where Denver got it going, and then neither team could do anything the last 2 or 3 minutes. Pretty disjointed quarter.
Antoine Wright. 96-87. Denver trying to close it out in Game 5. A trip to the Western Conference Finals on the line. Carmelo pops out, 0 for his last 6. Kidd, crossover, and foul. Dallas not going away. Kidd will head to the free throw line. The 5th on Anderson. And 14 minutes of action.
He's really had trouble staying on the floor. Game 3, that was the story of Game 3 for him. Obviously, the food poisoning, he couldn't play in Game 4. He's struggling to stay on the floor tonight.
George Karl addressing his team moments ago.
Come on, gentlemen, we can play better than we played. I think you know that. Make sure we cover the 3 ball. We don't give them foul line shots. Get a little more serious and win this quarter big time. Put a defensive quarter on the board with 20 points.
They're not off to a good start in the defensive quarter that George wanted. He's really worried about the 3-point shooting. That hasn't been the problem early so far. They're flat right now. The crowd's a little flat. Their players are a little flat. They need a spurt.
Dallas on a 13-3 run. There's a turnover. Kidd picks it off. Sends it to Bass, who gets fouled by Smith.
George Karl, not a very happy camper right now. He's got another timeout to talk to the players. I don't think it's going to be quite as reassuring as his previous timeout.
A 13-3 run, and then a turnover. 96-89 Denver.
Talked a lot tonight about 1985, the last time the Denver Nuggets made it to the Western Conference Finals. That is John Pfeiffer. He is the longest tenured Denver Nuggets season ticket holder. Listen to this. 40 years. He goes back to the ABA days, the first time Denver had a basketball team, and he says he is so happy right now. We asked him if we could talk to him during the game or talk about him during the game. He said, yeah, just don't talk to me while the action's going on. I'm going to be pulling for my team. These guys have been waiting forever for this team to be in a position like they are right now to make it back to the Western Conference Finals. But it's getting a little hairy out here for the Nuggets fans, guys.
Well, the action's getting tight right now. It's a 7-point game, Marty. And a chance to cut it even more. Denver with just 2 field goals in the last 6:58. As Bass gets to double digits, he has 10 points.
Can't talk to John Pfeiffer. I'll tell you somebody else you can't talk to is George Karl right now. He's not liking the way they've worked so hard all year to put themselves in this situation. He does not want to even think about getting on an airplane to go back to Dallas.
And in fact, Chauncey Billups says, hey, we're not going back to Dallas. And don't talk to Doug Moe either. There's a long list, right, PJ?
Very long list.
J.R. Smith finds Carter. Back to J.R. Cranks it up over right. Timely three.
Very timely. J.R. Smith has done that all year. Repeatedly, he's made big shots when they needed it.
His forced three.
Correct call, just unfortunate situation. Nene made a good play. Official Ronnie Garrison got caught in front of him. See, Nene thought he could save the ball. Ronnie was right there. I'm not sure he could have saved it anyhow. But again, they've come out of the timeout a lot more aggressive.
9-point game. Perea gets it back to Bass. Nowitzki from deep. The net didn't even move. Nowitzki with 25. And the emotion after that shot by Dirk Nowitzki. 2-possession game. Here's Carter attacking. Runner, good. AC.
Well, you wouldn't have thought two of the biggest shots would come from J.R. and Anthony Carter.
Perea driving. Bass cut off. Perea shot no. And where's Dirk during that possession?
Not a good possession at all.
Martin over Nowitzki. Here comes one of those mini runs by Denver.
Big possession right here for Dallas. They need to get it to Dirk. They need to settle this crowd down.
Foul.
Good decision there. Ball went out of the screen and went up over the scoreboard and then came back down. Kenyon Martin a little more aggressive offensively. Nice little jump hook inside.
Nene just picked up his third. Nowitzki, offensive. Too much shoulder. His fourth. They can sense it here.
Well, they talked the other night about the difference. Dirk Nowitzki taking the ball to the basket, how much more effective he was. That time, tried to get a little too close. Nene moved his feet very well.
J.R. Smith. Kid comes down with a rebound.
That was a Dallas timeout about to happen if that one had gone in.
Kid to Bass from the short corner.
Very, very good shooter. Excuse me, Matt. 10, 12-foot shooter, very good.
12 points. Carter.
Not a good shot.
Martin tries to save it and can't.
I love AC's confidence, but discretion was called for that time.
And with Billups on the floor as Martin gets a hand. Great hustle here.
Wow, flying in. You know, quietly, what's not good right now, Matt, Denver 4 team fouls, Dallas 0. If Dallas can hang in, they can make a living on the free throw line.
Here's Nowitzki with the left hand, has 27. Remember the massive fourth quarter in game 4 when he had 19 of his 44. 19 of the last 29 for Dallas in that game.
6-point game and 4 team fouls is not a good situation.
Billups fouled by J.J. Barea as Carmelo Anthony checks back in. He's had some big fourth quarters. And the postseason had 9 points in game 4 in the fourth quarter. 103-97. Dallas trying to force a game 6 and overcome what it once was a 17-point deficit. Shot clock down to 5. Billups has it knocked away. 2 ticks remaining on the clock.
This is usually JR time. Put the ball in his hand with 1 second to go. He finds it well. He's taking it out of bounds. It's not going to be his shot.
Carmelo's shot. Got it! The big bully. And a technical. Antoine Wright, a technical foul as he went after Joe Crawford, and his teammates restrained him and now headed back over toward the bench. Once again, you mentioned this earlier, those costly technical fouls by Dallas. 10-point game.
Here we go. Let's see what he was upset about. There's the dagger. JR threw a little bit of an elbow. Antoine Wright, yeah, second guy fighting, but really neither one was that much. But again, you had the elbow to begin with from JR. You got to keep your head right now. Enormous shot. Dallas thought they had worked themselves back in. Carmelo said, not in my house.
Last time the Denver Nuggets landed in the Western Conference Finals, 1985, when they took on the Los Angeles Lakers. Head coach Doug Moe had a full collection of stars on the roster, and the Lakers were able to come away with a 4-1 victory and went on to the NBA Finals and won it all that year against the Boston Celtics. 6 players for the Denver Nuggets that year averaged double figures in the postseason, led by the great Alex English, who averaged better than 30 points. Calvin Knapp averaged over 22 points. Mike Evans, Bill Hanslick, who is here tonight. What a roster. The last time they went to the Western Conference Finals. 6:30 remaining. Can they do it here? 24 years later. Nowitzki plus the foul.
Not if that guy has anything to say about it. Well, it's unusual to have a dagger this early, and I'm not ready to bury Dallas yet. Carmelo Anthony just comes to the ball, turns in the air after he'd missed his last 6 or 7 shots, and knocks that shot down.
28 points for Anthony on 12 of 20 shooting. Terry on the floor for Wright. Nowitzki at the free throw line. Log on to NBA.com now for the most extensive playoff coverage and in-depth highlights of tonight's Mavs-Nuggets matchup, as well as up-to-date scores, stats, and schedules from the postseason. NBA.com. The game happens here. Nowitzki, like 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Pardon me, PJ.
No problem.
Billups.
Kenyon Martin with the real good screen. They showed the 2-3 zone, and Martin didn't let Brandon Bass get out to the corner.
24 points for Chauncey Billups. Mr. Big Shot. In the corner, Terry. Nene handles a rebound. 10-point game.
Just hasn't been a good playoff series or either series for Jason Terry.
Chauncey crossover, gives it up. Martin fouled.
It's a screen along the baseline right here. See Kenyon Martin? He's not letting Brandon Bass get out. That gets Chauncey Billups a wide open look. Good execution against, I think, a 2-3 zone. That trip from the Dallas Mavericks.
Nowitzki just picked up his 5th with 5:36 remaining in the 4th. Kenyon Martin, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, has 11 points. Denver Nuggets this year tied an NBA franchise record for their franchise with wins with 54. Doug Moe and the 1987-88 team directed the Denver Nuggets to a 54-28 mark. This is a team that has won 15 straight here at the Pepsi Center. They have been dominant. They've won 18 of their last 19 in this building, going back to February.
More importantly, they're a leg up on 6-0 in the playoffs. Brandon Bass just keeps working, Matt. Dirk's telling Jason Terry, don't hang your head, man. Keep shooting. Rick Carlisle probably saying the same thing over there.
And you see the response of George Karl. Told his team about keeping Dallas off of the line. And Bass.
They're going to be, excuse me, Matt, they're going to be on the line the last 5 minutes. They're in the bonus right now.
Yeah, he has 11 of his 15 here in the fourth quarter. Carmelo, crossover, off the window.
Very tough shot. Jumped right into Brandon Bass's body, off balance with one hand, still finishes.
30 points now for Carmelo Anthony. 30 plus in 3 straight in this series. Nowitzki, no. Martin with the rebound, hands it off to Billups. 10-point advantage once again. Billups turns the corner, pulls up, got it. In front of his parents, Chauncey Billups trying to return his hometown team to the Western Conference Finals. Carmelo with a rebound.
Well, the crowd senses it. George Karl senses it. Do the Dallas Mavericks sense it, or do they have another run left in him, Matt?
Here's Nowitzki. Too strong. Nene handles. Timeout, George Karl.
Wants to talk to his team right now.
3:49 away.
Carmelo Anthony in, accepts the contact, finishes the shot. They're knocking on the door of the Western Conference Finals.
The Dallas Mavericks care about the community. Recently, forward James Singleton made a special visit to a local middle school to recognize the winners of the 11th annual Mavs Reading Challenge. Singleton congratulated the students for their hard work and achievements and emphasized the importance of developing a lifelong love of reading. The NBA, where caring happens. Carmelo Anthony throughout this game, playing through pain, and you see him right there. He looks up at the clock. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left.
Telling strength coach Steve Hess, boy, his leg is bothering him a little bit.
Melo on the floor with 3:49 to go. Largest ever crowd here at the Pepsi Center to witness the Denver Nuggets. 19,962. Nowitzki comes down with a rebound. Another double-double for Dirk Nowitzki. 30 points, 10 rebounds. And a whistle. And a foul on J.R. Smith.
It's his 5th double-double this year in the playoffs. I like George Karl's timeout. Rather than let them just play, he really wanted that last possession. He wanted him to, he ran a play for Carmelo. He really felt they needed it. Does not want to give these guys any hope whatsoever.
Bonus situation, Nowitzki 11 of 11 from the free throw line. Clock stops.
It's one of those situations where the coach is really worried and he's trying to convince the players, and sometimes they just kind of look at you. But think back to last night. I turn on the TV and it's Orlando's got a 10-point lead with 4 minutes to go. It evaporated.
10-point lead here. Chauncey Billups to Martin. Kid goes down hard. As he was going up to contest that shot against his former teammate.
And good friend. He had a lot of ball, but Kenyon took it strong to the basket.
And Jason still down, and Kenyon Martin still there as well. Kidd, his third. 36 years of age in his 15th year. And 3:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Will this be his final game as a Dallas Maverick, or can they extend it to a Game 6 down 10? What will his future hold?
Jason Kidd's had a pretty good year. It's going to be a tough decision for Dallas or any team in the new NBA. There's going to be some fiscal restraint. I don't think you're going to see the contracts for the free agents that a lot of people envision. That's an old-time playoff foul right there. He tried to get the ball. He actually had a lot of ball on it, but you're not going to get a layup this stage of the game. You got to make 2 free throws.
Here's Terry, fires the 3, and it's good from the corner.
Jason Kidd limping very badly up the court right now. He's really favored. Plus he's holding his neck. Jason Terry finally with a shot.
116-108. Here's Chauncey Billups. Pulls up over Kidd. Got it. Billups with 28-8 in the quarter. Carmelo on Dirk. Backing down. No place to go. Fading. Short. How about Carmelo's defense there?
He held his ground, didn't leave his feet. The other night he got schooled twice by leaving his feet. Dirk stepped around him. That time he maintained his position.
Billups finds Nene. And a foul underneath.
Carmelo Anthony with a real good job. Holds his ground. Now Dirk, who loves to pump fake. Melo made sure that Dirk left his feet first. You're a defender. You don't want to leave your feet until the offensive man leaves his. Jason Kidd looks like he's in a lot of pain right now.
Two minutes left in Game 5. Shot clock at 4. Dallas gets a stop. Terry. Pass active underneath and fouled, and the clock stops with 1:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Carmelo just picked up his 5th.
J.R. Smith got himself in a little bit of trouble. He picked his dribble up too soon and then made a careless cross-court pass. Jason Terry couldn't finish. Brandon Bass still working hard inside.
And another free throw attempt for the Dallas Mavericks, who are trying to force a Game 6. 14-14 all-time of the postseason in elimination games. And the Denver Nuggets are trying to close it out here at home and wait on the outcome of the Lakers in the Houston Rockets series, with the Lakers up 3-2. Bass with 13 of his 17 in the fourth.
Dallas going to play it out, let Denver run some clock and hope they can get a stop and a defensive rebound.
Billups to Nene. Billups with his 12th assist. Turnover with 1:12 to go in the fourth quarter, up 10.
Dirk didn't realize he had a smaller man, J.R. Smith, on him. That's a poor decision. He should have shot it.
Under a minute remaining in Game 5. They can feel it, and they are having fun. 51 seconds remain. 40 years, a season ticket holder, 51 seconds away. And Mr. Pfeiffer is going to see them head to the Western Conference Finals once again, but he's got to wait 51 seconds. He was there in 1985. George Karl directed Seattle into Milwaukee to conference finals, took Seattle to the NBA Finals. They get a stop there. And George Karl led Seattle to the Western Conference Finals against Utah, won it in 7 games, then lost to Chicago in 6 games back in 1996. In 2001, he took Milwaukee to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to Philadelphia in 7 games. And Kmart coming off. Chauncey Billups. J.R. Smith at the line, Chauncey Billups. And this season really started for the Denver Nuggets with Chauncey. In the offseason, they decided to trade Marcus Camby. Last year paid $13+ million to the luxury tax. And what a season it has been for the Denver Nuggets, as they are 25 seconds now away from the Western Conference Finals. Gerald Green and Dirk Nowitzki. Just an outstanding series. 32 points, 10 rebounds tonight.
Just didn't have enough help, and the better team is winning. Not an accident. They're the #2 seed coming into the playoffs. If anything, they're playing better than anybody else in the Western Conference right now. Not that the Lakers of Houston aren't more than a worthy opponent, but they've been the most consistent team in the Western Conference. They and Cleveland have dominated the playoffs to this point.
J.R. Smith getting a response from the crowd, as did Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony with 30 points tonight. And you've seen his game grow throughout the postseason. And Rick Carlisle, certainly an emotional day for him, with Paul Bearer and Chuck Daly's funeral this morning. "24 years in the making. Denver's headed to the Western Conference Finals." "124-110, Denver takes the series 4-1. And let's send it over to Marty Snyder. Marty?
Well, it is 24 years in the making. Carmelo Anthony was 1 year old when the Nuggets last made it to the Western Conference Finals. Carmelo, why this team? Why this year? Allen Iverson was on this team before, but why right now?
It's special. We worked hard, in the offseason, training camp throughout the whole season. We stuck through everything. Adversity, we overcame a lot of adversity. But the most part, we stayed complacent, we stayed humble. And hard work paid off, but we still got a lot of business to go take care of.
You and I have talked for about a month about this guy to your right. What has he meant to you and this team this year?
He's a leader. He came on his team. He brought a business-like attitude to our team. Something that I was looking forward to bringing to this team in the offseason, and he brought it. He brought the defensive mindset that we was looking for, and the same thing that we've been working on throughout the offseason, he brought that too.
Congratulations on a great series, okay?
Thank you.
We're going to talk to this man over here, the local hero for the Denver Nuggets. And for you, Coach Carl did you the favor of pulling you out. What did that standing ovation mean?
It's great, man. It's great to know that, the fans appreciate the hard work that we put in all year. We're just trying to keep it going, man.
You told me people don't know how good we are earlier this morning, and you said we can be very dangerous. How dangerous can this team be?
We're very dangerous. If our defense is locked in and paying attention to the small things, our offense is explosive. We got so many guys that can beat you, that can hurt you. So it's just about us being locked in and focused, man.
For a guy who grew up here, you don't seem to be kind of soaking it in right now. It's almost like you have more planned.
Yeah, man, it's not over. We still on the road, man. The road ain't over yet. We don't really have time to celebrate. We're moving on to bigger and better things. Hopefully we can still remain successful.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
All right, Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony. Great series for those guys, Matt.
Chauncey Billups will now wait on the Los Angeles Lakers, or will it be the Houston Rockets? Final score 124-110. Outstanding job by our entire crew. Producer Mike Burks, director Rich Russo, associate director Lori Brooks, production assistants Allison Luhr and Eric Duncan, statistician Brian Taylor. For the doctor, BJ Carlissimo, Marty Snyder. I'm Matt Devlin saying goodnight from Denver. The Nuggets did it. They're headed to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 1985, EJ.